This is Justice for Aditya, and we've accessed statements now of witnesses who were in the same car with Aditya on that fateful Saturday night. This statement was recorded before the magistrate, and as per the statement, Rocky Yadav flaunted his VVIP status before opening fire. And this, remember, is a real bone of contention here. And this is also something which came out, in fact, in the FIR, which mentioned a statement saying that Rocky made that very clear that who he is, and he did not have any qualms about flaunting his VVIP status as far as this entire story is concerned. We also do know now that Manorama Devi has applied for anticipatory bail in this case. But a lot of questions now being raised on how the police has done the investigations so far. Let me see if we still have Prakash who's reporting on that story. Now, Prakash, if you're with us and you can hear me, take us through this statement now. What really are the specific details of this witness statement that we've accessed?
Well, these are the statement under section 164 CRPC, as you can see, these are the first statement is of Nasir Hussain. All the five friends, Nasir Hussain, Ayush, Ankit, Akil and Muhammad Akafi, have given a statement under 164. They say that the vehicle number 7063, a Land Rover, tried to overtake them at Bodh Gaya Maharani petrol pump, and after that they due to traffic congestion they couldn't give them a pass, and all of a sudden someone started shouting from behind and started firing in the air, and obviously it was Rocky Yadav. Then near the Gaya town, somewhat close to 2-3 kilometers away from Gaya town, someone started firing in the air, and all of a sudden Nasir Hussain, who was on the driver's seat, slowed down the vehicle, and the Land Rover vehicle of Rocky Yadav came in front and blocked the Swift car on which all these boys were traveling. And two guys comes out of the vehicle, one Rocky Yadav with a pistol, and the other the bodyguard Rajesh Kumar, who has also been arrested with a carbine. Rajesh Kumar starts slapping Nasir Hussain with fist, and Rocky Yadav, it is written that pistol ke butt se mara. उसके बाद then after that it's written that वो मुझे पिस्तौल के बट से बॉडीगार्ड अपने हाथ से मारने लगे और बोला कि मैं रॉकी यादव नाम है मेरा और बिंदी यादव का बेटा हूँ, मैं तुम्हें मार दूंगा. So this is what he had said.
This is a real sense, and this is a real problem, you know, that the Bihar government perhaps is not even looking at right now, because Tejasvi Yadav is trying to point fingers here at the center, also, you know, trying to absolve himself of all the crime. But let's again focus on that line, and for viewers who could just be joining us on the broadcast, look at this. Prakash has accessed a witness statement, and Prakash, go through that line again. What really does Rocky Yadav say about his VVIP status?
Well, this statement is written in Hindi. I will read out in Hindi. वो गोली चलने की आवाज़ उठी तो हमने गाड़ी को धीमी कर दी, और जैसे ही गाड़ी धीमा किया, गाड़ी ओवरटेक करके लैंड रोवर गाड़ी हमारे सामने लगा दिया. उसके बाद धीरे गाड़ी पर से बॉडीगार्ड और एक व्यक्ति उतरा जिसके हाथ में पिस्टल था, और बॉडीगार्ड के हाथ में कार्बाइन इज़ अ बिग राइफल लाइक AK-47. सो वो मुझे पिस्टल के बट से मारने लगा और बॉडीगार्ड अपने हाथ से मारने लगे. वो बोले कि मैं रॉकी यादव हूँ और बिंदी यादव का बेटा हूँ. So it is sheer arrogance. And after that, when the boys, all these 4-5 boys, started moving in the direction towards Gaya, then they could again hear a gunshot, and Ayush Agarwal, who was sitting next to Aditya Sachdeva, heard a bullet shot, and suddenly he could see that blood started oozing out of Aditya's head, and all these guys got very scared, and they moved to Anugrah Narayan Medical College Hospital for treatment, and the doctor there declared him brought dead. So this is an unfortunate incident, and everybody has corroborated the same thing. Even Ayush Agarwal has said the same thing, that Nasir Hussain was being beaten up by Ankit Rocky Yadav as well as the bodyguard.
This makes me ask you the next question. Why should the Bihar government even want to, you know, divert attention? Why should they want to point fingers at anyone else right now? Because the proof is right there, the evidence is there, the witnesses are corroborating with whatever we've seen, and look at how drunk, you know, this boy was on power. There just cannot be a more damning evidence of that.
Yes. this evidence is the clinching evidence as far as this whole murder incident is concerned, and it will be very helpful in the investigation, despite the fact that Rocky Yadav has been claiming that he was not here in Gaya, he was in Delhi. His father had advised him to make a document that he was not here. He then went to Patna and he said that he came back to Gaya just because his mother called up. Mother had said in my interview that I am not in touch with Rocky for the past 8 days. Everybody is lying. Father, mother, son, everybody is lying here. So their lies have been exposed by corroborative evidences from the eyewitnesses, as well as the pistol that was recovered of 9mm bore. That is another matter of investigation for sure. How did he get the 9mm pistol which is prohibited?
Exactly,
Who gave
Prakash,
it to
this
him?
is a point that this is another matter which should be investigated, yes, for sure. But at this point, when the Deputy Chief Minister comes out, he makes a statement and he says that this is road rage and this road rage actually happens everywhere. He should perhaps be looking at this report that you're filing even as we speak. This is a real problem. This is a symptom that he needs to deal with.
Well, certainly, because he should have been more careful as far as giving a statement is concerned. Equating Pathankot issue with this road rage incident is a different issue. Road rage is your own problem because it's a law and order problem. The mindset of the people has to change, and it is like you have many Rocky Yadavs among the political families of Bihar who are arrogant because of the muscle power and the money power they enjoy, and because of the cultural background, because of the upbringing they have, it has gone into their head that they can get away by doing anything, any wrong they can do, they will get away with it. So now the law has taken its course. The law is chasing
very strong
them.
reason for having that kind of a mindset is also the kind of political patronage that these people actually enjoy. Because still now, have we heard a very strong statement coming in from the Chief Minister of Bihar, Nitish Kumar? The answer is no. Have we heard anything coming in from the Deputy Chief Minister to that effect? The answer perhaps is worse, because he is adding insult to injury.
Well, as far as the Chief Minister is concerned, obviously he should have been more proactive in this particular statement. Maybe a visit to Aditya Sachdeva's family would have consoled them for sure, because it's not a small incident. A 19-year-old child has lost his life, and many aspirations and dreams of the family members have crushed. The way they are distraught and in disarray it's a very helpless situation for all of us whenever we go to report in that family. So obviously Nitish Kumar could have been more careful, and he could have visited this place as been appealed by the family members as well, and he could have been more proactive, because the Home Ministry
Bihar
is
politics very closely. What has happened to Nitish Kumar? What really has happened to the entire umbrella of social justice that he's wanting to create? Is Aditya and his family not a part of that? Should he not be, coming forward today and actually condemning whatever has happened and asking Manorama Devi also to surrender? Because where is she? And Lalu Yadav in fact is taunting the media, and he says कि आप मीडिया में हैं, आप पता लगाइए क्योंकि आप इन्वेस्टिगेशन कर रहे हैं.
Well, it's a cat and mice game, and between Lalu Yadav and Nitish Kumar, all the more it's a marriage of compromise between them. Both of them are just on the opposite tangent to each other. We have all seen how Lalu ruled Bihar for 15 years, and how he used to give patronage to, as you rightly pointed out, to all the goons and all the political people who flex their muscles and money power, including his brother-in-law Sadhu Yadav and Subhas Yadav, with the likes of Sahabuddin, Surendra Yadav and many more. The list is countless. But for the past 10 years in Nitish's regime, the law and order situation had improved for sure, that I can vouch for. But in this tenure, every month we are reporting incidents of crime and murder, and that too mostly involving the MLAs of the ruling party, whether be it Raj Ballabh Yadav, Sarfaraz Alam, now this lady Manorama Devi. Incidents of murders are taking place. So maybe it's a bad
Why,
omen for
Prakash,
Nitish
why?
Kumar.
Why should the
And
Chief
it's-
Minister then perhaps not come forward and do something exemplary? Because just look at these two lines. I somehow just cannot get my, head wrapped around this. When he comes forward and say in this statement, when Rocky Yadav is saying कि तू जानता है मैं किसका बेटा हूँ, what really does that mean? If that is not arrogance, if that is not what drunk on power is, what really is? Where is the Deputy Chief Minister? Should he not be coming forward and apologizing for the kind of insensitive statements he's made?
That's sure. Tejasvi Yadav is a young politician. He's just made a foray into politics and he has a long way to go. He should be more careful. And this kind of statement will not do good to him in the future because national security issues and law and order issues in a state are two different issues, and that too involving your own party alliance partner legislators. And the mindset of the children of the political people have to change. They have to bring a certain degree of discipline in their household so that these kind of issues are taken care of. And imagine a young guy called Rocky Yadav getting a pistol license. How many young guys would have a pistol license of Beretta make of 9mm bore, which is prohibited? So that is flouting the rules and regulations, as well as openly displaying your money and muscle power, and that you are trying to threaten and scare the people that I am the mighty one and I can do anything and get away with it. So the law should be
Prakash,
law
for this
should
kind of
take
an
its own.
attitude, for having this kind of an I don't care, go and do what you want to do attitude, some bit of blame also needs to rest with Manorama Devi, who's the mother of Rocky Yadav, in her anticipation. How perhaps is she even making a kind of analogy and a statement saying that I have nothing to do with this? The liquor bottles were actually found in Rocky's room, so he has to be blamed for it, and the FIR doesn't even mention her name.
That's I have been pointing out for the past 2 days, that the two major lapses what the police did was, one, they could not collect the blood-stained clothes of Aditya Sachdeva because it's an important evidence. And second, how did they allow Manorama Devi to escape despite the fact that 6 liquor bottles were recovered from a place when the raids were conducted in her house, and she got a leeway and she managed to escape. As far as the law of the land in Bihar, according to the new Excise Act is concerned, anybody in possession of liquor bottle has to be arrested immediately, and it's a non-bailable offence. So why was this leeway given to her? It's surprising because we have seen and we are reporting many cases as such in which people found in possession with liquor bottles in hotels or any parties, the police is raiding and arresting them and being sent to jail. Why this preference being given to Manorama Devi? So that is where the police's approach was callous and careless, though they are giving in their defense that we were not sure in whose name the house was.
But
At least they could have
Prakash,
detained
somewhere
her.
how can you